parents, family and friends, and especially members of the class of 2018, welcome to Marymount University once more. 2018 is a long way away, huh? Stop, approaching, go fast. As a kind of theologian, I want to start today with one of what I think the most innovative theologians of the early 21st century asked. And it's a question, a quaestio, is the old medieval word for you always start with good study with a question. Theologians invented inquiry-based learning a while back, actually. And so it's that one quotation just right. This theologian asks, do you want to build a snowman? Or ride a bike around the hall? Why cite that renowned theologian Anna from the Disney movie Frozen as you begin your collegiate career here at Marymount University? Because I want you to remember that question as you continue for the next 4 years. At some point, probably at least weekly, if you're lucky daily, someone is going to ask you to build a snowman. That is, someone is going to ask you to join them in doing something that might not be your first choice or within your comfort zone. Often it will be your teachers. We're going to ask you to read a book that you would never pick up on your own. And we're going to ask you to read it with your cell phone off and your laptop closed. We're going to help you, or sometimes make you, ask questions about the world or about yourself you've never really asked before, perhaps never really wanted to ask before. We're going to be there wide awake and full of coffee at that 8 a.m. class on Monday morning and that 4 o'clock class on Friday afternoon, bouncing with enthusiasm for late medieval Belgian altar pieces or the wonderful world of multivariable calculus. Sometimes there can be other members of the Marymount community who are going to ask you to build a snowman. Your peer mentor is going to ask you to go to a play you've never heard of before downtown instead of playing Xbox. Alina Folly and student leaders of the International Club are going to invite you to try new foods and perhaps even new dances from all over the world, from all the places our students come from. Victor Betancourt and the Center for Global Education are going to ask you whether you want to study baseball in Santo Domingo in the DR, or turtles in Belize, or churches, like a lot of churches, with me in Rome. And very often, if we're doing it right, it's going to be your new colleagues sitting to your left and to your right and in front and behind you right now today who are going to ask you that question. It won't always be explicit. But you're going to invite each other to experience something new, to encounter someone different, to ask a different question about someone's experience. And if this winter is at all like last winter, they might actually have to ask you to literally build a snowman. Your first instinct sometimes is going to be to close the door and hide, metaphorically, sometimes literally. We all, and I'm including all of these people as well, we all like our routines. We like our own space when it comes to ideas. We like easy answers, and we like our own opinions a lot. Sometimes, like Elsa, we're afraid of our own power. Our power to learn, to encounter, to grow, because that's hard. When someone asks you if you want to build a snowman, I want you to be prepared to say yes. If only because you or someone who loves you has spent an awful lot of money for this particular set of snowman making supplies. But more because this time here at Marymount is your big chance. So we faculty, we're kind of funny looking. We have strange ideas about what's important in life, what defines success, and we're wearing heavy robes made of non-breathable fabric in the middle of August. But when it comes to choosing the exercises, the books, the experiments, the projects, the things that we think will give you that chance for growth, that we're good at. And we're here because we, and I think I can speak for every faculty member I know, we live for those moments when we can give you that little light bulb of insight, help you understand a concept, see you walk away from our classrooms a little more learned, a little more inquisitive, a little more ethical even. And the rest of our colleagues, in student life, in all the other aspects of university. They have just as much of passion and energy and skill to get to those same goals. Now, in theology and in the Catholic tradition of Marymount, we have a name for these opportunities for growth and development. We call that grace. So our tradition, but not only our tradition, but our tradition is convinced that the world is charged with the grandeur of God, in the words of the Jesuit poet Gerard Manley Hopkins. He wrote to a friend, "All things, therefore, are charged with love, are charged with God, and if we knew how to touch them, give off sparks and take fire." More recently, Pope Francis, in his letter, The Joy of the Gospel, it's a new requirement in canon law. If you're a theologian, you give a speech, you've got to quote Pope Francis at some point. Pope Francis writes, "Whenever we encounter another person in love, we learn something new about God. Our tradition's sacramental imagination sees every offer to learn, to grow, to love as always also an offer from God to experience more of God's beauty, of God's goodness, of truth, of love in the various ways that everyone here of religious traditions and of no religious tradition will express that." Finding God in all things for us means being open to the encounters, the people, and the books. I want to stress the books is an important part of this. The books that you will read over the next 4 years. So even if you hated Frozen, or are sick of Frozen, this is my invitation for you for your time here at Marymount. When you're at the library studying, or in one of your classes, or just hanging out with your friends, and someone or something invites you to grow, when you have one of these moments of potential grace, I want you to hear in the very back of your head, and I want you to say yes to that chance. Thank you.